First time ever, man. First time ever. You know, when you think back to, and I'm talking about you personally, when you think back to the first time ever, it's usually something that you hold close to your vest. You hold close to your heart, right? First time ever. First time you kissed a girl, you're always going to remember who that is. First time you had sexual intercourse, you're always going to remember who that first person was. Your first date, I got them mixed up. Usually the date comes before the sex. In 2018, probably not. It could go either way. But your first date with somebody, always going to remember who that is. No matter if it's good or bad, you're always going to remember who that was and where you went and what happened. First time you went to a New York Knicks game with your father, or a Yankee game or a Met game with your father. First time you've been to the big stadium, right? First time you went to Ocean City down in Jersey. Beautiful summer night. And you had a delicious piece of funnel cake with nice powdered sugar on top. You're going to remember it. First time you had a cold alcoholic beverage. You're going to remember what you drank. You're going to remember how that beer tasted as it hit your lips. The beautiful frothy foam of that beautiful dark Guinness. You're going to remember it. You're going to remember it. What is Oscar going to remember on Sunday night? Oscar's going to remember, I have Ronda Rousey coming into the WWE, pointing at my Wrestlemania logo, and she didn't do a goddamn fucking thing! You know, amongst all the hoopla and these first time evers, WWE gave you the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. WWE gave us the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber announcement on Monday Night Raw for the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss defending the title on February 25th. Good. Get it out of your system. It's about time we come back down to reality, people. When you think back to the Royal Rumble, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years down the line, when we're all dead and gone, what are you going to remember about the first ever Women's Royal Rumble? You're going to remember Asuka winning the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, or are you going to think, hey, isn't that the night that Ronda Rousey made her WWE debut? Yeah, I thought so. WWE could have went about Ronda Rousey coming into the WWE in such a better way than they did on Sunday night. And they didn't. They wanted the ESPN coverage. They wanted the mainstream coverage. They wanted this. They wanted that. They wanted to be all over the place. And they bypassed the talent for mainstream rub. I understand why they did it. I am no dummy. But when it comes down to it, the talent that you have on the roster should be treated in a way much better than the talent that you're bringing in that has all this mainstream notoriety. Ronda Rousey is going to make the division a mainstream media's fucking wet dream. You don't need to give her the attention like you did on Sunday night to take away from Asuka's moment. That was wrong. WWE went all about Ronda Rousey and just pretty much took all the attention away from what we seen for an hour in the Royal Rumble. Because all anybody's talking about is Ronda Rousey. Nobody's talking about how great Molly Holly looked. Nobody's talking about the 5 consecutive eliminations that Michelle McCool had. Nobody's talking about the showdown that we seen with Trish and Mickey. Nobody's talking about the showdown that we seen with Nia and Beth Phoenix. Nobody's really talking about Sasha lasting 55 minutes in the Royal Rumble. They're all talking about Ronda Rousey. This is why you have women in the WWE locker room pretty much against WWE pushing Ronda already down your throats. Ronda points to the WrestleMania logo without doing a goddamn thing. What did she do? She came in because she failed in her last 2 UFC attempts, and now WWE is going to push her to the moon over talent that's already been there, talent that is more vital to the first time ever Women's Royal Rumble than Ronda will have ever been. WWE merely used Ronda as its trophy piece to make you aware that what those women did was legit. And I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. When you think back to the Women's Royal Rumble, are you going to think about Asuka winning that first ever Women's Royal Rumble? Or are you going to think, oh shit, that's the debut of Ronda Rousey? I think we're going to go with the latter. WWE went into Monday Night Raw announcing the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match. I know I said I didn't have a problem with it. The only reason why I said I didn't have a problem with it is because we have to get used to it. We have to get used to it. WWE has already given us a Hell in a Cell, a tables match, a Money in the Bank match, a Royal Rumble. I knew the Elimination Chamber match was coming 6 months ago. This is no secret to anybody. Kurt Angle revealed this on Facebook 6 months ago. Right after SummerSlam. Because it was asked. And he says, yes, it's coming. WWE has a potential WrestleMania card looming that could be one of the best we've ever seen if they play their cards right. WWE, not only with the setup of the Women's Elimination Chamber, but with the Men's Elimination Chamber coming out of Monday Night Raw, we could certainly see a WrestleMania card take shape that we can all very well be proud of on April 8th. John Cena versus The Undertaker. Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Then we're going to get Charlotte versus Asuka. That's a big top 4 right there, man. Then you're going to have Ronda Rousey and a partner to be named against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Now, word on the street is WWE wants The Rock. Clearly, Dwayne Johnson makes the most sense after what we've seen at WrestleMania 31. We don't know if Dwayne Johnson's going to be available with his movie career. And the fact that Hollywood does not want him wrestling for injury purposes and insurance reasons. WWE can still make this very special. You can easily take out Dwayne Johnson and insert Braun Strowman. Because WWE played up the fact that Braun Strowman was fired. WWE rehired Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw. In fact, Stephanie McMahon rehired Braun Strowman. There's a reason why Stephanie McMahon hired Braun Strowman back to Monday Night Raw. Stephanie is going to regret that decision, and Braun Strowman's going to continue doing what Braun Strowman does. Stephanie's going to throw it in his face, and it's going to lead to Triple H getting involved. Ronda and Braun Strowman versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania. Sounds a lot better than Braun Strowman versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship, don't you say? Yeah, I think so. Miz versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. A 6-way ladder match for the United States Championship. The Revival versus the Broken Hardys at WrestleMania. The Usos versus Rusev Day at WrestleMania. We got ourselves a damn good fucking card for WrestleMania. And I'm not even talking about, I didn't even include Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because we don't know what the hell is going on with that yet. WWE has a WrestleMania card that we could all very well be proud of on April 8th, if they play their cards right. That's what I got coming out of Monday Night Raw, and I've been thinking about all that during the week. John Cena beat Finn Balor in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. I like the idea that WWE is doing the qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber. Word on the street is Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan are injured. Monday Night Raw's roster is looking like The Walking Dead. Jordan has a serious neck issue. Rollins is injured. Samoa Joe has a foot injury. I don't know what's going on Monday Night Raw, but something needs to be done and quick, and hopefully within the next 4 weeks we get some solid answers as to what's going on with the men's Elimination Chamber. But I was not one of those people that agreed with John Cena beating Finn Balor on Monday night. How are you going to have Finn Balor gloat about 57 minutes in the Royal Rumble and then have him come out on Monday Night Raw and lose to John Cena in an unadvertised match that WWE clearly gave away because they had no fucking idea what to do? A match like that for the first time ever should have been built up. You gave us 3 Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. We got 4 weeks left to go. You could have spared one and saved that match and let it marinate for a week. WWE gave away too many big matches last year, just like that. And they continued to make the same mistake again on Monday night in 2018. SmackDown Live. You know, everybody is talking about AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. That's a given. That's a given on Tuesday nights. But what nobody is talking about is the fact that WWE let Dolph Ziggler go into the Royal Rumble at number 30, get eliminated in 2 minutes, and then not even show up on Tuesday Night SmackDown Live. Why the fuck did he come back? Nobody's talking about this. So you're going to have him come out in the Royal Rumble, get eliminated at the number 30 spot in 2 minutes. Then you're not going to have him show up on Tuesday night and give me an explanation as to why he came back after he just gave up the United States Championship and disappeared for a month? If that's not lazy creative writing, I don't know what to tell you. No, but nobody wants to mention that though, right? They just want to sweep that one under the rug. If anything needed to happen on Tuesday night, an explanation as to why Ziggler came back for the Royal Rumble was needed. We didn't get it. WWE seems to be pushing Rusev Day. WWE has an ample opportunity here for a double turn that is needed. This is a big moment. WWE made Bobby Roode a babyface upon his debut on the main roster, and they've stuck to that. I don't know why. I don't want to see Bobby Roode shaking hands. I don't want to see Bobby Roode smiling. I don't want to see Bobby Roode carrying the old lady's fucking grocery bags to the fucking car. I don't want to see that Bobby Roode. I want to see the Bobby Roode that's making fun of Roderick Strong and telling him that he's a B-plus fucking player while he's throwing shade at his fucking wife. Why are you with the loser? Come get with the real man. That's the Bobby Roode I need to see. This Bobby Roode, I don't know who the fuck this is. I don't know what they've done with the real Bobby Roode, but please, the real Bobby Roode, please stand up. He's the U.S. champion, but he's a babyface. It ain't working. Rusev technically is still a heel. He's just being cheered because he's gotten something so simple as a hashtag over, and now the hashtag is on t-shirts. It's on a goddamn fucking calendar. Turn him into a full-fledged face and push this guy as a babyface and make Bobby Roode the heel. I think the way things are going to go on Tuesday night when they fight over the United States Championship is Bobby Roode is going to be booed out of the building, and the majority of the people are going to want Rusev Day to go over. So let's do it. Let's do it. NXT, actually not even NXT. Actually NXT and 205 Live kind of going to be in the same sandwich this week. 205 Live had a new general manager announced, Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick is the new general manager, a.k.a. Rockstar Spud from Impact Wrestling. Snappy Dresser is that Rockstar Spud. WWE announced he is the new GM, and WWE has announced through him that a huge 16-man tournament is going to take place that will culminate at WrestleMania for the Cruiserweight Championship. I like this idea, and this is an ample time for WWE to hit the reset button on 205 Live. They need to get rid of the weight limit. I don't give a shit if it's in the name of the show. I don't care. Get rid of it. 205 weight limit has to go. WWE has an opportunity to really make some talent shine when they didn't give these opportunities out in the first year and a half of this concept. In fact, the entire show needs to be done with. 205 Live needs to be done with. It doesn't need to be a show. It merely exists because WWE needs content for the WWE Network. That's all 205 Live is. It's content for an hour, not even an hour, on the WWE Network. And if that is all you're relegating these guys to, that's a waste of everybody's time. Because you have so much untapped potential there. I admitted that I don't watch 205 Live. Why should I? People come on my Twitter wall, JD's a hypocrite. JD's unfairly judging 205 Live. How could he say he doesn't like it, or how can he say it sucks if he doesn't watch it? If you watched one episode of 205 Live, you aren't seeing anything new outside of what we're watching on Monday or Tuesday. Why am I going to subject myself to an hour of the same shit that I see on Monday and Tuesday when I can watch Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles? For the love of fucking God, I can see Killian Dane do a goddamn fucking suicide dive. The fuck do I need to watch Cedric Alexander do one for? .205 Live doesn't need to exist. And if you want 205 Live to exist, take it away from SmackDown Live. There's got to be another way to get this show where it needs to be. Not even the show, the concept of Cruiserweight. Get it away from SmackDown. Get rid of the show. Give the Cruiserweights time on Monday Night Raw like we used to get when Monday Nitro gave you the Cruiserweight division. Or extend NXT by a half an hour and give me Cruiserweights on NXT. 205 Live doesn't need to exist. Those guys are being treated so poorly by putting them in front of an audience that just doesn't care. They don't care. And on top of that, you're putting them in front of an audience that's already sat through 2 hours of a shit SmackDown Live. How excited do you expect them to be? Something's got to change, and you know I'm right. But I'm going to be watching this Cruiserweight tournament, A, because I like tournaments, and B, WWE seemingly is going to be introducing new talent with this tournament, a.k.a. Roderick Strong. Speaking of Roderick Strong, he was on NXT this week in a fantastic match against Tyler Bate to become the number one contender for the United Kingdom Championship. Got me thinking. It's got me thinking. We're all talking about WWE potentially giving NXT a mid-card title. We don't need some new concept for a mid-card title. We don't need a TV title. We don't need an intercontinental title. We don't need a new concept like the Dream title, named after the legend Dusty Rhodes. WWE has a mid-card title in its possession that I see them doing nothing with. The United Kingdom Championship. That is your mid-card title for NXT. Why not give us that every single week? I don't understand. WWE has a gold mine in the United Kingdom Championship. Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Wolfgang, Mark Andrews, Roderick Strong. You know, you guys can have Velveteen Dream fighting Tyler Bate. Velveteen Dream versus Pete Dunne. You know? And everybody else that needs a shot at a mid-card title that's not going to be in contention for an NXT championship. You got one right there. WWE themselves opened up the floodgate for that to be the mid-card title. Why would you give us another show with the United Kingdom guys when you really don't have anything going on with them? You can't have a show with a roster of 6 or 7 guys. Put those guys down at the PC, put them on NXT, and give me the United Kingdom Championship as the mid-card title in NXT. Just treat it as the modern-day European Championship. Simple as that. Like I said, WWE already opened up the floodgates. They're already touting that Roderick Strong beat Tyler Bate and that he might be the first ever American to hold the United Kingdom Championship. You opened up the floodgates yourself. You might as well let that motherfucker cart start coming on in. I think that's the way to go. Otherwise, you're going to have a title that's just around the shoulder of Pete Dunne to make him look good. It ain't going to look prestigious anymore if Pete Dunne just starts carrying that belt around everywhere. We want to see Pete Dunne start defending that title in NXT, and I think that's the perfect mid-card title for NXT right now. Because they desperately need something. They have too much talent right now coming on in that is not immediately going to be placed in the main event scene. I think WWE should start thinking about that and get that ball rolling for NXT. Those are some of the big stories this week to start off the script. It was a newsworthy week in WWE. We're going to go over everything today on Off the Script. We are also going to tackle this story about Nia Jax calling out Grim's Toy Show on Twitter after Grim uploaded a reaction video to the Royal Rumble. I believe he was in Philadelphia for the event. He uploaded a reaction video live in the crowd, and Nia Jax got defensive over some inappropriate names that Grim's Toy Show kind of threw at Nia Jax. We're going to go over all that. I got the tweets to show you guys. I'm going to give you my opinion on all of that, plus so much more right here on Off the Script. Plus, we got a Pro Wrestling Crate unboxing for you for January. We're going to kick this one off, man. Let's hit the introduction, and I will see you guys right on the flip side, right here on Off the Script. Man, oh man, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the intro in the post-edit, and I can't help but think how badly this show needs theme music. So I'm hoping Tony gives us something. I hope Tony shows us his wizardry. I mean, the dude's like fucking Harry Potter, man. All he has to do is wave his wand and he creates magic. My brother told me that hopefully by the end of February, I'm hoping before WrestleMania, we get new theme music here for Off the Script, but it's needed, and I can't wait to see what they got brewing up in the studio. So we'll see what happens with that. This is episode 207, part number 1 for your Friday, February 2nd, 2018. This is Off the Script. I am JD from New York. Thank you guys so much for joining me here after a very long weekend of wrestling this past weekend. Royal Rumble, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live reviews are all on the channel right now. Make sure you guys go and check that out. There was no NXT. No NXT review because there really wasn't anything storyline-wise. But that doesn't mean I didn't watch it. It came from the Wells Fargo Center. NXT TakeOver, Morrow and Percy Watson. We've seen a great match with Roderick Strong and Tyler Bate. TM61 returned. It was Nikki Cross versus Lacey Evans. Not much as far as storyline goes, but still a great show nonetheless. We'll pick it up next week. Typically, I don't cover NXT the week after a TakeOver because they just film extra matches before TakeOver goes live, and there really is nothing as far as storyline advancement on NXT, so we'll pick it up again next week. I got a lot of stuff I want to go over today. I want to talk about this Grim's Toy Show, Nia Jax situation. I'm going to do the unboxing. I decided I'm going to do the unboxing tomorrow, so we'll do the Pro Wrestling Crate unboxing on Saturday. I do want to talk about this Nia Jax and Grim's Toy Show situation. It's something that was heavily talked about on Wednesday afternoon, so I want to lend my 2 cents to that. I also got news on Jason Jordan, reportedly seriously injured, might be missing WrestleMania. What does this mean for Seth Rollins and his match at WrestleMania? It seems like Rollins is just cursed when it comes to WrestleMania. Also, we'll go over WrestleMania 34's proposed card. We got all the participants revealed for both Elimination Chamber matches on Monday Night Raw, both for the men and the women. And the women throwing shade at Ronda Rousey's WWE debut. What did Nia Jax, the Bellas, and Sasha Banks have to say about Ronda Rousey and the debut she made at the Royal Rumble? All this plus so much more today, right here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Thank you guys so much for continuing your support of Harry's. Harry's.com/script. You guys are going to have the best shave of your life, guaranteed, with Harry's razors, man. I shaved this morning. Looks fantastic. I feel great. The most smooth shave you can ever ask for, man. Once you use Harry's, you're never going to use another blade for the rest of your life. I guarantee you. So if you go to Harry's.com/script, they are guaranteeing you the best shave of your life. They're going to give you a free shave set, man. Razor handle, razor blade protective case, and Harry's personalized shave gel. You're going to get all of this for free. All you guys got to do is pay shipping and handling. Harry's.com/script. I want to thank everybody for showing support to Audible. They are still sponsoring the podcast. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. 30 days. That's 1 month free of their service. That includes one free audiobook of your choice. You have over 180,000 choices to choose from, a lot of which are wrestling related. It doesn't have to be a wrestling related book, but you guys got one book on the house just for listening to the show. All you have to do is go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. Great way to support the show just for listening to Off the Script. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. We will have a new design out before WrestleMania. It's going to be my thing every year, man. We're going to have a new design out for WrestleMania. Not going to let you know what I have brewing up here as far as designs go, but I do want to get a Negan shirt out, another JD is Negan shirt, and I want to try and do something with the They Do It for Roman thing that I do. We'll see what happens, being that he's going to have a big part of WrestleMania. But if you guys want to get any one of the 12 t-shirts that I got on the website right now, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. And if you guys want to support through the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD/from-NY206. Thank you guys for all that, man. Let's get into this Nia Jax situation with Grim's Toy Show, man. I want to show you what Nia had tweeted. Let me pull up my screen here. This is what Nia had tweeted. Now, Grim, before we even read what Nia wrote, I want to let you guys know something. Grim has, on his main channel, he's nearing 1 million subs. Grim is a 1 million subscriber channel. He's got a vlog channel, a family vlog channel that's like almost 600, 700,000 subs. The dude is widely successful on YouTube. Grim is very well known in these parts. I have known Grim for a few years now. I speak with him on frequent, on Twitter. He knows how passionate I am about what I do. He is there when I need him, as it pertains to help. Grim asked me to come out to where he is in Jersey, and he asked me to be a part of his show. And I met Grim for the first time. Down to earth, fucking regular dude, man. Nicest guy you could ever meet. I met him again in Orlando. We had a great fucking time in Orlando, man. I wish I could have hung out with him more. That's how lively and infectious Grim's personality is, man. He's just a good guy. I loved working with him. I hope to work with him again in the future. We did that skit with the wrestling internet darlings down in Orlando. He put me, pretty much through the fucking concrete with an elbow drop off a ladder. He threw me into the front row of steel chairs in Orlando at the Internet Darlings. It was a great fucking time. It really is a great time, man, down in Orlando. I remember I got a nice little bruise on my fucking leg from taking that hard way on the chairs. Grim, like I said, invited me to his home And we did something with GTS. I was one of the clowns, with that whole storyline, man. Like the fucking clowns that were infiltrating GTS. He ran me over with a fucking car. I got to cut a promo on him. He fucking put me through a table. Triple powerbomb through a table, man. Working with Grim was great. I was on the outside causing interference. I even got in the ring and I gave him a slap across the face. It's good stuff. It was fun. Grim is a good guy. The one thing I will say about all of this, man, I remember I was with Justin LaBar. I was with Justin LaBar a few SummerSlams ago, and it was the first year I did work with him for Wrestling Reality. He added me to his little shindig at at the bar that we were at, and I was a part of his show, Q&A. I brought my fans. He had his fans. It was a nice little get-together. Drink specials, all that. He made me a part of the Wrestling Reality show there for the 2-3 hour block. He was there before he went to SummerSlam. Before we actually went to Brooklyn that night, I was with him in the Bronx. And we had breakfast, and we were talking, and we were just going over things. We were drinking a little bit, pre-gaming. We sat down, and he showed me his new theme song when he first introduced the theme song that he has now for Wrestling Reality. And he was telling me stories of Matt Hardy, and he was telling me stories of Road Dogg, and just different things that, he was telling to me in private. And he asked me about my show, and he knows what I do. Justin knows what I do very well. He knows the type of personality I am. He knows how opinionated I am. He knows how I operate. He knows the rabid audience that I have, and he knows the presence that I have on social media when it comes to these things. The one thing I will never forget Justin telling me is that be careful what you do and be careful what you say about who you talk about. The one thing he told me was, no matter who you are, and he looked at me, and he knows that I'm growing, and he knows I'm going to be bigger than where I am now. He's like, for someone in your shoes who's growing, for someone who's trying to make it in this business and for all that you're doing, someone is always watching. Always. That night he told me that, we went to Brooklyn and we did the meet and greet. It's the first time I met Solomonster. He came up to me and he knew who I was. I didn't even know he listened to me at that point. I didn't even know he thought, anything of me at that point. I was like, what the fuck? You know who I am? I listen to you every week. It was great. I was trying to do a live review there at the bar, and it was just not going to happen. It was just too noisy. So I waited for the next day. So I gathered all my shit up. I was in the back where we were doing the Q&A, and I'm gathering my computer cables and my laptop and all that shit. Sheamus walks to the back, and he sees me fumbling around with my shit. And he could have went up to anybody in the bar. He comes up to the back, and he stands above me. I look up, and I see Sheamus standing above me, and he puts his arm over my shoulder. And he's like, what's going on, fella? You're going to come up to me and put your hand on my shoulder and tell me what's going on, fella? I thought back to what Justin told me, and when he stated, no matter who you are and what you do, especially what you're doing, there is always somebody listening. It made me wonder if Sheamus knew who I was. And it made me wonder if Sheamus knew what I had been talking about as it pertains to him on my show. I don't know. But it did run through my head. There is always somebody watching, and there is always somebody listening. Especially someone in Grim's situation with nearly 1 million subs. Grim posted a video of him at the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia. Okay? Philadelphia is not that far of a drive from where Grim is. about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. So he went to Philadelphia for the Women's Royal Rumble. For the Royal Rumble, he was filming live reactions during the show. He uploaded it the other day on Wednesday on YouTube. He mentioned something about the women. He mentioned disparaging remarks in the video about the women. He mentioned Nia Jax and called her Nia Fat. There are other podcasters that, make fun of Nia's name. Nia Jax. They always find something to correlate or something that rhymes with Jax. I don't know who it is, but someone mentioned Nia Snacks. Really disgusting comments. So Nia Jax heard this in the video, or I don't know if she heard it. Maybe someone who is a fan of Nia found this and sent it to her. Because you know how social media is. Nia Jax tweets, "I guess he wants attention at Grim's Toy Show for his horrible behavior. Making fun of my weight, which is completely unoriginal. But what gets me is that he's shouting degrading things towards women in front of a young girl. Good job, buddy." So then Grim sees this, and obviously he has to apologize. "I'm so sorry, Nia Jax. I feel like a total piece of crap now. I hope you will accept my apology and I will remove the video. I'm a huge fan of all involved in the women's and men's rumble. Sometimes I get carried away trying, in quotes, to be, quote unquote, shocking." This was eventually resolved. Nia Jax replied to Grim saying, "I messed up this time, guys, and I'm sorry. I'll work very hard to be better. I sent an apology to Nia Jax and removed the video." Nia replies, "Thank you for that, bud. No hard feelings at all." This situation could have been handled so much better. So much better. I am not defending Grim in any sense of the word. Grim was wrong. Grim was wrong. Grim is a grown man. Grim should know better with this Me Too shit. Grim should know better with the saltiness and the sensitivity of everybody nowadays, where they can't say anything without crucifying another. You got to be careful about what you do and what you say. In that thread that Nia Jax posted, the original one, this one, the one where she first brought attention to the situation, there were people in the comments of this thread on Twitter screenshotting something from Grim's daughter's channel where she uttered the same thing. She was showing off a figure of Nia Jax, and she's like, "Here's Nia Jax," or "Here's Nia Fat. She's a beast. She's big," whatever. It was just disparaging remarks. So not only does Grim have to be aware of what he's saying to the general public, being a public figure, because that's what Grim is. Grim is a public figure. Not only do you have to be mindful of what you're saying, but you have to be mindful of what you're saying to your daughters, because they're at a young age in which they are still very impressionable. And if they see their successful father saying something and they're riding his success on their channel, they're going to do whatever they can to mimic him because he's successful. And they want that same success for themselves. Grim has to be aware of what he is saying, not only as a public figure, but to his family as well. Grim was wrong. No matter if it was done for comedy, no matter if it was done for a cheap laugh, it was wrong. I know, we know that Grim didn't mean it. I know Grim didn't mean it. But the 4,000 people that retweeted that, and the thousands upon thousands that commented on that, they don't know who Grim's Toy Show is. They don't know the kind of comedy that Grim shows in his videos. They don't know what he does. They don't know who he is. To everybody, he's just an internet fucking idiot who makes backyard wrestling videos. They don't know how funny he is. They don't know how great of a husband he is or great of a father he is. They have to be mindful of what they're putting out there, meaning his family. Nia, if she took 5 minutes, and I don't blame Nia for sticking up for herself. She had every right to. When someone feels threatened, they're going to attack. A lot of people ask me, JD, why do you get so up in arms about people who attack you? You know, I don't need people attacking my brand. I don't need people attacking me. I'm going to say something. I'm going to defend what I've worked so hard on. Nia is very sensitive about this, and she's even come out and publicly stated that there are people in her locker room, people that she travels with, who make fun of her weight. She's not going to attack Grim. She had every right to attack Grim. This could have been taken a completely different... It could have been taken completely, different from where it was on Wednesday. All she had to do was ask Kurt Hawkins, who knows Grim, All she had to do was watch one of his videos and see that he's a lovable guy. All she had to do was slip into the DMs and say, listen, bro, I didn't like that comment. That was a very hurtful comment. And talk about it in DM. But instead it was brought to a public forum, and these super fans take it upon themselves to defend Nia and then elicit threats to Grim's daughters, telling them to fucking commit suicide, saying all this fucking hateful shit. People were telling Grim to fucking burn himself and fucking drop dead. I hope you drop dead of a heart attack, you fat fuck. This entire thing was a fucking mess. Everybody came off as hypocritical in this thread. Grim made fun of Nia Jax's weight. Fine. He was wrong. Nia defended herself. Fine. Then you got Nia's fans saying the same shit about Grim that Grim was saying about Nia. We were running around in circles here. When all it needed to be was something that would be settled in DM. A lot of hypocritical shit with this nonsense. Grim was wrong. Grim's gonna do better. I know him, and I know he's not gonna make the same mistake twice. But for the people who were defending Nia here, eliciting hatred on the fucking guy's kids, you people need a new hobby. You people need a new fucking hobby. Nia can take care of herself. You didn't see Nia elicit hate. She didn't use any derogatory language. She didn't call him a fat slob. She didn't mention anything about his weight. So what gives you the right to go into her thread and make her look embarrassed? What these people don't realize is that they gave Nia a bad name. Very hypocritical, man. Very hypocritical. Nia works for a company in which they fat shame Kevin Owens every single fucking week. Randy Orton was fat shaming Kevin Owens on Instagram just a couple of months ago. Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens weren't even fucking signed when they should have been signed because they thought Samoa Joe was out of shape. You have fat shaming going on in your fucking company, but then everybody wants to fucking defend Nia Jax against Grim when it's happening right under her nose in every fucking locker room in that company. It should never be a thing. This shouldn't be a thing in 2018. They did the same thing to Piper Niven. They did the same thing to Viper in the Mae Young Classic. You know how many fucking people made fun of her with disgusting comments because of her fucking weight? How many people said she shouldn't have been in the Mae Young Classic? I don't know. Let me think back to the Mae Young Classic and what was one of the best things about that tournament. She put on some of the best fucking matches in that tournament. What gives you the right to make fun of anybody's fucking weight? Ridiculous. Could have been handled a completely different way. And I am in no way defending Grim on this. He was wrong. He should have known better. But nobody in that thread understands the comedic approach of Grim's Toy Show. What you see on GTS every fucking day is not the Grim in real life. What you see in his vlogs is Grim enhanced. It's his character enhanced. Nobody knows that. So they went right for the fucking kill. Could have been handled a completely different way. It's not my type of comedy, but I know he didn't mean it. But yes, he was wrong. It's a vastly different feel when you don't know the person behind the camera and then when you do. I've talked to Grim and I've seen Grim enough in person to know he's not like that. But he did make a mistake. And I know for a fact he's going to get better and he's not going to make the same mistake twice. Hopefully this is water under the bridge and everybody stops attacking his kids. But you know what? Listen. Nia Jax may have defended herself in the most respectable way possible. Grim might have fucked up. He might have made a mistake. He's going to learn his lesson. He's going to get some heat for it now. It'll die down. It'll be forgotten by fucking the end of the weekend. But with Nia Jax, a notable WWE figure, bringing awareness to Grim, it's only bringing awareness to his channel now. So maybe some of those fans that were so hard on him, maybe they're converted into a fan. Either way, bad publicity is still good publicity because you're getting publicity. You're bringing awareness to the channel, you know? But no, he was wrong. He was absolutely wrong in everything he did. So hopefully this is water under the bridge and we don't have to talk about this anymore. Speaking of the women, let's keep it on the flow of the women, man. I want to talk about the participants in the Elimination Chamber. Both Monday Night Raw's Elimination Chamber, the men and the women, have had all its participants revealed. For Monday Night Raw, the last stop on the road to WrestleMania is the Elimination Chamber, one of my favorite matches of the year. I love the Elimination Chamber. I think it fits perfectly right in the middle of the Rumble and WrestleMania. 6 men are set to compete in the Chamber this year, and the winner of this will go on to fight Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. There will be no title on the line in this match for the Chamber. The women will have their first ever Elimination Chamber match, and it will be for the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss will indeed be in this match. This is a first for the women. I have to see how they book this match and if it's going to live up to the Chamber's enormous structure. For the men, we saw the first 3 men book their tickets to the Chamber in the form of John Cena, Braun Strowman, and Elias. Now, I mentioned on my Monday Night Raw review, John Cena made a big deal about getting to WrestleMania. WWE gave us a first-time match of Finn Balor and John Cena on Monday Night Raw with little to no build-up. They went from the Rumble, they went from John Cena being there at the end, they went from Finn Balor being there at the end, and they figured, you know what, let's put these 2 guys in a match on Monday Night Raw. First time ever, winner gets a spot in the Elimination Chamber. WWE has 4 weeks until the Chamber. They gave us 3 matches as far as qualifiers go. You mean to tell me WWE couldn't build up a first-time match? And this is where I think they fucked up. This is where I love what NXT does, and I wish Monday Night Raw kind of followed suit. NXT always gives you a week in advance about what they're doing the following week. Always. Always. Monday Night Raw doesn't do that. They'll maybe do it once, twice a year, tops. This is something they need to get back to doing. Because not only does it make the show feel more important, it gives you something to look forward to the next week, instead of going into Monday Night Raw like we usually do, blind, not knowing anything. WWE should have booked John Cena and Finn Balor for the following week's show. It would have given us something to look forward to, instead of putting it on in front of a dead Philadelphia crowd that was burnt out from literally everything over the weekend. And they could have set out and produced a better match instead of just going into it coming off a huge Royal Rumble where Balor was in there almost an hour. That's my thought on that. I think WWE missed a big opportunity there to really hype up that match. 4 weeks left. They gave us 3 qualifiers. You could have waited. And you didn't need to rush into another match that you seemingly gave away for free on television that would be normally a pay-per-view match. Roman Reigns was the Intercontinental Champion and actually he was getting his rematch, I'm sorry. He was getting his rematch against The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship, and therefore could not have a qualifier for the event. But after losing that match, it's widely expected that he will compete in the remaining 3 weeks for his spot in the Chamber. According to NoIQ.com, NoDQ.com, one of the participants is a big surprise. Don't know what that means, but we'll have to find out. As seen on Raw, John Cena, Elias, and Braun Strowman have advanced to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Roman Reigns is also expected to be part of the match and will likely be the favorite to win. Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan, if he's recovered from his injury, are also rumored to be a part of this match, which means Jordan and Rollins probably won't be going for the tag team championships anymore. In fact, they might be doing a separation angle between those two, and with the Revival coming out and pretty much proclaiming how great they are in recent weeks, we might be getting the Revival versus the Bar as the next feud. And then Jeff, when he comes back, maybe joins Matt. Because right now, the tag team division kind of needs the Hardys more than the singles division needs Jeff. I think we might get Brother Nero and Broken Matt together again. And we might get them against the Revival, which should have been the match before Jeff got hurt. Maybe that'll be for WrestleMania. We don't know. We'll see what happens. But Jason Jordan taking that spot ahead of Finn Balor or even Bray Wyatt would be a shock in its own right, regardless of the push the company has given him. However, after reports of ankle and back problems for Jordan, they appear to be wide of the mark, as Dave Meltzer is now reporting that he is struggling with a serious neck issue. Seeing as something similar has recently retired Paige, it looks like Kurt Angle's son and the push for Jason Jordan may come to a grinding halt if they cannot find an answer as to what is ailing him. Meltzer reported in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that there is local marketing advertising a Las Vegas list of Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose for the Women's Elimination Chamber match for the Raw Women's Championship. In all fairness, the likes of Alicia Fox, who is injured with a broken tailbone, Mickie James, and Dana Brooke are the only other alternatives, so the lineup makes a fair amount of sense. There is also no point of putting Asuka in the match, seeing that as she can meet whoever she wants at WrestleMania 34. I don't know what is going on with Jason Jordan. I don't know where the injury might have stemmed from, but he's been pulled from all live events. Meltzer states that Jordan is dealing with a neck injury, and it's been bugging him for the last couple weeks. Meltzer says that Jordan is having issues with his grip, and that is usually very serious. WWE has been protecting him by having him do as little as possible. That's why we've seen the match at the Royal Rumble end up the way that it did. Jordan really had nothing to do with the match, and it was all Seth Rollins versus The Bar, in which Jordan and Rollins lost the tag team championships. Jordan was originally slated to be in the Elimination Chamber, but it's unclear right now if the injury will force him out of the match. We don't even know if he's going to make WrestleMania. Never like hearing anything having to do with neck injuries, so WWE is taking every precaution in the book as far as Jason Jordan goes. Now, as far as the women go here, I mean, there really is no other choice but what they mentioned. Bayley, Sasha, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Nia Jax, and Alexa Bliss. I told you what I do for the women. I think Alexa Bliss walking into WrestleMania as champion again would be a big mistake. She hasn't done anything since she won that title. She hasn't done anything since she won that title back again. So why would you even have her walk into WrestleMania the champion when all these months have passed and she's done nothing with that championship? Sasha Banks needs to be rewarded for everything that she's done. Sasha Banks has been the best female performer in that entire company on both Raw and SmackDown coming out of WrestleMania, and that's not the first time that I've said that. She put on a WrestleMania caliber match with Asuka on Monday Night Raw, probably the best women's match that I've seen in 12 months on Monday Night Raw. Why you wouldn't have Sasha Banks representing the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania is ridiculous to me. Now, the rumor going around is that Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax is going to be the match at WrestleMania. Who wants to see that match? I don't want to see that match at all. I don't think Alexa Bliss has enough in her to bring a good match out of Nia Jax. To me, the way both have been built up, that is a Monday Night Raw match at best. It's not what I deem WrestleMania worthy. What I do deem WrestleMania worthy is you take what you're doing with Sasha Banks and you really continue on the path of making her heel. I would have Bayley win in a fluke. I would have Bayley pin Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship inside the Elimination Chamber. I would have Sasha Banks pretend like she's still there for Bayley. But after the loss of the Royal Rumble, after the loss to Asuka, after the loss in the Elimination Chamber, Sasha Banks can only take so much before she snaps and finally takes it upon herself to make things right and say, you know what? Fuck being nice to everybody. This is my time. I need to do what I need to do to get that Raw Women's Championship. And if it takes stabbing Bayley in the back, then that's what it takes. Monday Night Raw's Women's Championship match at WrestleMania should be a heel Sasha Banks versus a babyface Bayley. You have more than enough time to build that up in 5 weeks to get it to where it needs to be. That's the match we want to see at WrestleMania, with the title on the line. You build Sasha Banks up as a heel, in which she'll probably be better at, and you give Bayley some fucking balls underneath her and have her become a little bit more aggressive instead of being, I want to hug everybody. Instead of being treated like a pushover. Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss is not what I call a WrestleMania match. And if it is, it's pre-show. That would be nowhere near my main card. As far as the Raw men go, Cena, Elias, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns. We can guarantee that. If Jason Jordan is not in there, Rollins will probably be in there, and you could probably add Bray Wyatt. We all know what's going to happen. It's fairly predictable as to what's going to happen. Roman Reigns is going to win that, and he's going to punch his ticket to WrestleMania, and Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns is born again. So those are the 6 men and 6 women for the Elimination Chambers. Now, where do we go from the Elimination Chamber into WrestleMania? Let's look at the top of the card. You got WrestleMania's main event, which is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Universal Championship. WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Intercontinental Championship. I would have The Miz defend the title against Finn Balor. Finn Balor lost his shot at the Elimination Chamber and right now has nothing else to do on this show. That's what you do with Finn Balor. You give him a shot at the Intercontinental Championship because he's never going to get his shot at the Universal Championship, in which he deserves another shot, being that he never lost it. And I'm sure WWE will visit that at some point. But to give Balor something important to do after you've been building him up, you don't have him last 57 minutes in the Royal Rumble if you got no fucking plans for him. WWE is just not going to say, yeah, we're going to let Finn Balor wait about 57 minutes before getting eliminated in the Royal Rumble and then not have any plans for him going into WrestleMania. That's ridiculous. You don't pair him with the club, seemingly after fucking 2 years too late, to just waste them away again. Finn Balor versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship is the right move, with Balor becoming the Intercontinental Champion. That title needs to be on a babyface. It opens up a lot more as far as potential opponents. The Miz has no potential opponents. None. Balor versus Elias. Balor versus Jeff Hardy. Balor versus Samoa Joe. Balor versus Wyatt. Balor versus Rollins. Balor versus Jason Jordan. Any one of those matches would be an ideal Intercontinental Championship match. The Miz, same old shit. Every match The Miz has, it's the same fucking outcome. That's why I didn't like Jinder Mahal's title reign. They booked the same ending every match he was in. And the same thing is happening with The Miz. This is why I don't understand people are saying, oh, The Miz brought the Intercontinental Championship back to prominence. When? Where? He hasn't done anything with it. He's made it look worse. You can't take away The Miz's talent on the microphone. My God, he might be one of the best in the fucking company. But you can't take that Intercontinental Championship and put it on The Miz and say he did right by it. Then the rumor is that Miz is going to defend against Braun Strowman. How is that a WrestleMania match in your eyes? It's not what I deem a WrestleMania match. That's a mismatch. No point in that at all. The Intercontinental title should be defended, and it should be a title that is fought over. Not put in a squash match at WrestleMania. We've seen Braun Strowman destroy the Miz Taraj already. I would not want to see that again at WrestleMania. I'm sure you can come up with something better for both men. United States Championship. Bobby Roode. I'm sure Rusev's going to be a part of it. Jinder Mahal. Dolph Ziggler. Get Zack Ryder in there. Get Ty Dillinger in there. Baron Corbin. Give me a ladder match. Give me a ladder match with all those guys at WrestleMania. Money in the Bank. Still to this day, don't know why it went away. Still to this day, I don't know why it's its own pay-per-view. Don't know why they took it away from WrestleMania. So to offset that again for another year, WWE could put us in line for a United States Championship ladder match with those 7 guys. And it fits perfectly into the Dolph Ziggler storyline. I mean, WWE really could have had fun with it at the Royal Rumble, but they embarrassed Dolph Ziggler by having him come out at number 30, being eliminated in 2 minutes, and then not come out on SmackDown Live with no explanation as to why he came back or why he gave up the United States Championship. I mean, the only logical thing is that he gave up the United States Championship because he wanted to prove that he could win it. He won it. He gave it up because he's so above the United States Championship that he said, you know what, I'm going to leave this year. I wanted to show you all that I could do it. This title is beneath me. I'm going to enter the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. If Dolph Ziggler was never meant to be the winner of the Royal Rumble, why was he even in the Royal Rumble? The only logic behind Dolph Ziggler coming back was to win the Royal Rumble. And they eliminated him in 2 minutes. Bullshit. WWE clearly blacked out on that storyline. So, Dolph Ziggler giving up the title, in retrospect, what are they going to do? The only thing that they could do right now to save Dolph Ziggler's face is to have him come back with a new United States Championship and proclaim that he is the real champion, a.k.a. Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon in 1994. I'd take it. But they really embarrassed Dolph Ziggler at the Royal Rumble. Tag Team Championships. Monday Night Raw. You're probably looking at either the Bar versus the Revival or the Revival versus the Broken Hardys. Because I believe Jeff will be back before WrestleMania. And I think the Broken Hardys at WrestleMania will go over big. And that was supposed to be the match at SummerSlam or around that time. I thought the Revival were going to be the ones to break the Hardys, literally. So we'll see what happens with that. As far as SmackDown Live, if Rusev is not in the ladder match, I'd do Rusev Day versus the Usos at WrestleMania. Or you could do the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos at WrestleMania. One or the other. One or the other. Cruiserweight Championship, you're probably looking at Cedric Alexander versus Hideo Itami. That would be a great match. And that match needs to be on the main show this year. Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. There you go. I don't see anything else happening for that storyline but that. Unless we get KO versus Sami Zayn, but who would want to see that again at WrestleMania with nothing on the line? And you know WWE is going to clear Daniel Bryan for a one-on-one match. Braun Strowman and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I'm thinking about that for WrestleMania as well. Or if Samoa Joe is back in time, you could do Joe versus Strowman, and you could put Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Lots of different options here. Lots of different options. And I'm going to say this once, and I'm sure it'll be said again. You don't need to get everybody on the show. Not everybody deserves to be at WrestleMania because it's WrestleMania. You filled the card appropriately with the matches that you need. Don't overexceed and don't go over a certain limit just to fit everybody on the show. I just set out a realistic and possible WrestleMania card that could be great. How much of that comes true, I don't know. That is just based off what I've seen in the current week. Let me know what you guys think about that. Sasha Banks has nothing nice to say about Ronda Rousey's WWE debut. Ronda Rousey made her WWE debut this past weekend, but it seems like not everyone was a fan of the debut. Rousey came out following the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match that Asuka ended up winning. After the match, both SmackDown Live Women's Champion Charlotte, I'm sorry, I forgot to add the Women's Championship match for SmackDown Live, Asuka versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. Can't get any bigger than that. Charlotte versus Asuka, or I think that's going to be the match. But Charlotte and Alexa came out to stand next to Asuka at the Royal Rumble. Asuka was expected to choose her opponent for WrestleMania 34 as Shinsuke Nakamura chose AJ Styles earlier in the night when he won the Men's Rumble match. Before Asuka could make her selection, Ronda Rousey's music hit, and down the aisle came Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Rousey extended her hand out to Asuka to shake her hand, but the Japanese star slapped it away. After, the ex-UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion pointed at the WrestleMania 34 sign, indicating that her road to WrestleMania is now underway. Early speculation and reports suggest that a mixed tag team match is scheduled for Rousey's WWE debut, as it should be, because she's not wrestling before WrestleMania. We don't want to put her in a singles match, being we don't know how it's going to be handled, and she might thrive in a tag team situation to start her career off. So, no matter how much training she has under her belt, I would not put her or throw her right into the fire right away. So that's why I said either Strowman Rousey or Angle Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. The Rock seems highly unlikely right now due to insurance reasons because Hollywood does not want him wrestling, potentially getting hurt, and then ruining whatever filming he has upcoming for the rest of the year. WWE really wants that partner to be The Rock, as he and Rousey had a confrontation with the Game and Stephanie at WrestleMania 31 several years back. This would jumpstart Rousey's career, as she is now a full-time professional wrestler. Fans are excited to see Rousey in the WWE Women's Division, as most superstars are as well. But former Raw Women's Champion Sasha Banks doesn't seem to share those sentiments. She recently did an interview with Bustin' Open Radio to talk about Rousey's debut, and it seemed like it irked Sasha Banks. I quote, "I have nothing nice to say, so I can't say anything at all," Banks said. "I have nothing to say about it." When asked what she'd do if she had to work with Rousey, this is what she said, and I quote, "It's like I do every single week. I'll do my job." Sasha Banks, I'm gonna sit here and tell you, Banks, in every interview that I've heard her conduct, she's been very real and very open about how she feels about things. She's not afraid to hide anything. So I honestly think that she genuinely feels that way. She genuinely feels that way. Nikki Bella said the same thing. Nia Jax said the same thing about Ronda Rousey. And they felt like, well, Ronda Rousey came in and stole all the thunder from the Women's Royal Rumble. You had 30 women in the Royal Rumble, but everybody's talking about Ronda Rousey. You know? Nia Jax and Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, they all shared the same sentiment. Everybody's talking about Ronda Rousey. Meanwhile, they just had 30 women make history, and that's all everybody's talking about. Now, I don't know how legit Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Nia Jax comments are, but I know for a fact, if I was a betting man, I'd say that Sasha Banks was very genuine in what she said. I have nothing nice to say about it. But if anybody has a problem legitimately, and they're legitimately and genuinely voicing their concerns via social media on this, they better shut their mouth real fucking quick. Every one of these women need to shut their mouth real fucking quick. Because WWE, this is what they want. They're a publicly traded company. They want the mainstream attention. Ronda Rousey's going to give it to them. These women know. They should know how WWE operates. WWE is running the business the right way. Ronda Rousey is going to generate money. Ronda Rousey is going to generate business. They don't give a shit about the women's division as long as it gives WWE name that mainstream spotlight. And Ronda Rousey's going to take them there. WWE is the type of employer where if you don't like it, goodbye. Or if you want to voice your opinion, by all means, go on social media and voice your displeasure. You ain't going nowhere on television. Your TV time will be cut. You'll be buried. Next thing you know, you'll be future endeavored. I don't know how legit these comments are coming from these women on social media, but if they have a brain, they'd shut their fucking mouth. But Sasha Banks, I do think is legit in what she says, because she's always been open in every interview that I've heard her participate in. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, Adam Cole was in the Royal Rumble. Adam Cole, baby, was eliminated by Rey Mysterio. There was original plans for Adam Cole at the Royal Rumble. WWE officials could have gone in a different way on Sunday night. I seen at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, in his match with Aleister Black, they put on a near 5-star match. And it was probably the best Extreme Rules match that we've seen in WWE since Roman Reigns and AJ Styles several years ago. Or a couple of years ago. It wasn't that long ago, a couple of years ago. I seen at Sunday's Royal Rumble in Philadelphia, Adam Cole was in the Royal Rumble match. Now, I was thinking why WWE chose Adam Cole and Ember Moon to be in their respective Royal Rumbles. Ember Moon was destroyed by Shayna Baszler and she came out wearing, white tape to sell the arm injury. Adam Cole came out in the men's Royal Rumble wearing white tape around his gut, around his chest area, to sell the injuries given to him by Aleister Black. They couldn't find anybody else to be in the Royal Rumble. That was my logic behind that. Andrade was in the Royal Rumble. He lasted almost 30 minutes. Good for him. He had a great weekend. Now, there was original plans for Adam Cole. The original plans called for Adam Cole not to be in the Royal Rumble. It's being reported that Adam Cole was originally pitched to accept Bobby Roode's U.S. Open title match at the pre-show during the Royal Rumble. The plan was scrapped after they realized that it wouldn't be the best thing for Adam Cole to lose in 8 minutes on the kickoff show. Wow, you thought of that all on your own. Why was this even a thought? Adam Cole losing in 8 minutes on a pre-show to Bobby Roode after he just had a great match with Aleister Black? After you're positioning Adam Cole and Undisputed as some of the top guys in NXT, you want to have them come out on the pre-show in front of nobody and lose in 8 minutes? Come on, bro. Whoever thought of that idea, my God, you are fucking delusional. They didn't go through with it. As you guys seen, it was Mojo Rawley in a sleeper. The original plans also called for maybe Dolph Ziggler to accept the U.S. Open Challenge, but that was obviously changed as well, and they put him in the Royal Rumble at number 30 and just embarrassed his night anyway, only lasting 2 minutes. Thank God that didn't happen. Adam Cole is worth so much better than that. I wouldn't even put him in the Royal Rumble, to be honest with you. Don't even know why he even made it to the Royal Rumble. Speaking of Adam Cole and the guy who eliminated him in the Royal Rumble, Rey Mysterio, reason why Rey Mysterio did not sign with the WWE yet. Rey Mysterio was one of the surprise entrants in the men's Royal Rumble match on Sunday night, and he did not fail to deliver. If you guys go to WWE's YouTube channel and you guys see Rey Mysterio's return in the 2018 Royal Rumble, that video is almost at 10 million views. If people aren't hungry to see Rey Mysterio back in the WWE, I don't know what the fuck will tell you that. Jesus Christ. People want to see him back, and he looked fantastic. That was his first WWE appearance since 2015. His first WWE match since he faced Bad News Barrett on Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania 30 in 2014. He made his return, and he did not disappoint fans in the Wells Fargo Center as he came out to a holy shit chant, and he eliminated Adam Cole from the match. He also delivered 619s to several WWE superstars, including Roman Reigns and John Cena at the same time. Mysterio was also part of a cool moment between superstars of the past and future as he, alongside Cena and Randy Orton, stared down Reigns, Balor, and Nakamura in the middle of the ring before Finn Balor eliminated him from the match, ending his Rumble time in just under 9.5 minutes. Rey's Royal Rumble appearance left many fans to question if he would return to the WWE or if this was just a one-off appearance. The monster pop which he received upon his return certainly caught WWE officials' attention, so there's a real chance that he could be coming back. However, PW Insider has reported that his appearance was organized just over the last week, and it's a one-time thing for right now. It doesn't mean he won't be making more appearances anytime soon, but don't expect anything more from him for now. In a later report, PW Insider stated that the problems which have been around for the past year with Mysterio still linger, and the only thing stopping Mysterio from signing a new deal with the WWE is that the company wants him back full-time, and at 43 years old, Rey Mysterio does not want anything but a part-time schedule. Rey said his Royal Rumble appearance after the match, "It's incredible. It's been almost 3 years since I've heard the WWE fan reaction, and to be honest with you, a lot of people say it's luck, and a lot of people say it's awesome to hear, but I'll tell you this, I'm truly blessed. I'm truly blessed to come back and realize the fans don't forget about you, and not only the fans, but the WWE family. This is a universal reaction, and it feels good. It feels great." Rey Mysterio would fit perfect on SmackDown Live. I want to see him back. I don't want to see him wrestle every single week. Rey Mysterio doesn't need house shows. At 43 years old, why would WWE ever want Rey Mysterio to do the house show tour? You know? If he doesn't want it, then don't have him do it. He's going to be a moneymaker for you regardless. And he could be someone to bring back to Tuesday nights to generate some ratings and get the SmackDown rating up. That's always what they wanted on Tuesday nights. They wanted that Latino presence on Tuesday nights. Rey Mysterio is that guy. Rey Mysterio obviously looks fantastic for his age, can still go, in the best shape I have ever seen him in. Matches with Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, John Cena. I mean, who won't want to see Rey Mysterio back? You know? WWE really needs to think about this. You either don't get Rey Mysterio at all, or you get Rey Mysterio, but you have to abide by what he wants. I don't understand why WWE wants to just break these guys down. There's a reason why they leave the company. They don't want this rigorous, full-time bullshit. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Well, Batista said he wants to come back and do the whole fucking tour. He wants to do the live shows. He wants to do all the live tapings. He wants to come back for a year and just do everything, right? Jericho, when he comes back, he does the live shows. He does the house shows. He does everything. So why can't Rey Mysterio do the same thing? I get that much, but if Rey Mysterio doesn't want to work a full-time schedule, and that's the only way you're going to get him, you either use him the way he wants to be used, or you don't get him at all. I think what we need to do here is get Rey Mysterio back on WWE television. Because 10 million views on his Royal Rumble return obviously means that people want to see Rey Mysterio. WWE really needs to take a step back and think about what would make their shows better. A show with Rey Mysterio or a show without Rey Mysterio? Think. Moving on here, man. I don't really have much else. Jason Jordan, you guys know, is hurt. Talked about that. Alicia Fox is hurt. See what we got here on the rumor mill, man. I don't really have much else. I really don't have much else. Everything else is just old news. I'm going to go with one more story, man. Impact Wrestling, believe it or not. Impact Wrestling. And I think we're good enough for a full show here, man, even though I don't have much news this weekend. Impact Wrestling comments on major departures from the company. Newsweek.com had a chance to talk to Impact Wrestling President Ed Nordholm, Mr. Owl himself, and Vice President Don Callis and Scott D'Amore about the recent departures of EC3 and Jeremy Borash. Now, Jeremy Borash has signed with WWE. He will be reporting to NXT. Major pickup for WWE. Not only can Jeremy Borash fill in for commentary, Jeremy Borash has a personality that could be widely used in NXT so that we could get Christy St. Android off fucking television and put Jeremy Borash in that spot so we don't get someone who sounds like a fucking android coming off the conveyor belt interviewing these guys. He said about Jeremy Borash, Borash is leaving to join WWE, Ed Nordholm said. We wish him all the best. He's a talented guy. He's been with the company forever. But we have a lot of talented guys. Change is good and it gives other guys a chance to step up. Meaning, well, we wanted to keep Jeremy Borash, but we didn't want to pay him what he wanted. That's what that says to me. This company has historically given new opportunities to people, said D'Amore. We always wish Jeremy well. Someone who I thought was a lifer there. Someone you know did not want to leave that company. Someone who is very loyal. Always comes down to money. We wish Jeremy well. I got one of my first breaks from him. Jeremy hired me to be a producer at World Wrestling All-Stars. But we have editors on our team who don't get the notoriety that Jeremy does. We have great players ready to step up. Didn't want to pay him. Blah, blah, blah. EC3. His contract was not up. He came to us. We had a frank discussion about where we saw him going, said D'Amore. We decided to sit down and work something out that worked for us on how we'd wrap up this portion of his career. He didn't want to be there no more. Good for him. He's going to thrive in NXT. Believe me. Bobby Lashley. Bobby is a free agent and is free to figure out what he wants to do next. Whether it be wrestling or mixed martial arts, we wish him all the best, said Nordholm. He's a great talent. It's foolish to say, no, we didn't want to retain him, but he has his own ambitions about what he thinks is good for him and next in his career. So Bobby Lashley, as of February 1st, he was free to sign with anybody. I know New Japan and WWE were probably going head-to-head on Bobby Lashley's services. I've heard rumors about Bobby Lashley having a major issue with Michael P.S. Hayes. Not sure what's going to go on with that. But all I know is that Bobby Lashley would love a match with Brock Lesnar. And I know for a fact that after Roman Reigns, there really isn't much for Brock Lesnar to do outside of a match with Bobby Lashley. Maybe Brock Lesnar. Maybe he goes back to UFC and fights a few more times. But I know WWE would love the Bobby Lashley-Brock Lesnar match in a ring, possibly at SummerSlam. You know Bobby Lashley would want it. Lesnar's in great shape. Bobby Lashley's in great shape. They're both MMA guys. WWE could really sell that, and that could be a huge spectacle if they really build up to it and really make it feel like one. I think that would be fantastic. I was not really all that interested in seeing that, but seeing that Bobby Lashley is in great shape, I'm really not the biggest Bobby Lashley fan at all, and seeing that Brock Lesnar seemingly has nobody else to work with, being that he's run through everybody on Monday Night Raw, unless you move him over to SmackDown, I think it would be a nice little spectacle for WWE. It'd be different, and it would be exciting. It would be legit, and we all know that this company needs something legit to have happen to it. And if that's the way in, by all means, you got my attention. But Impact Wrestling, all these major departures, man, I hope they know what they're doing. That's some top-tier talent that left that company. Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, WWE's going to make a hell of a lot of money on that match. EC3, you could already tell he's fucking thrilled to be in NXT. He's going to do very well for himself, and they placed him in NXT. That is the right decision. I don't want to see anybody come in not really all that well known to the WWE Universe, be put on SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. Just look at Mike Kanellis. Mike Kanellis should be in NXT and should have went to NXT. Good thing they made that right decision with EC3. Jeremy Borash, you know the guy's body of work. You know how talented he is. He had a helping hand in the broken Matt Hardy stuff. He's not going to be working directly with Matt Hardy. He's going to be in NXT. NXT just got a great pickup in both EC3 and Jeremy Borash. Ricochet coming on in. They got Tommaso Ciampa coming back. They got War Machine coming on in. A lot of people don't really like NXT for whatever reason. You better start watching NXT, man. This is the best NXT has ever looked right now. Can't wait to see what they got going on for 2018. But that was Ed Nordholm, Don Callis, and Scott D'Amore's explanations for all three guys leaving Impact Wrestling. And that is all I got for part 1 of Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much for everything. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up, and I will see you guys on Saturday for part 2 of this very podcast, man. What I got for Saturday, The Miz potentially could miss WrestleMania 34. Roderick Strong set to make his main roster debut on 205 Live. Reason why WWE brought back so many legends for the Women's Royal Rumble, and Paige, her retirement is now confirmed. We'll talk about that on Saturday. Until then, take care. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Harrys.com/script. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on Saturday morning for part 2 of Off the Script. I'll talk to you later.